Thanks to finishing all of the books, I finally dove into two full crates of DVDs and like another 15 or so of them that were sitting in the crate. So 2+ crates, and this is what I have to show for it. It's funny, 2 whole crates, and it does not look like that much, but there is some good stuff in there. And I did find 3 things that I'm gonna list on eBay, so that's all good. I was glad to be done with all of those boxes of books because it was a lot. And while, like I said, I did find a good amount for my stores, I didn't find as much as I was hoping to sell on Amazon or eBay. But anyway, I'm glad I got them. Thank you to the person that dropped them off. And it felt like a long time. It felt like I have not been getting into finishing off the second of my 3 recent Gaylords that I purchased, because not only because of the books, but because of, if you remember, I had all those other trades, donations, and buys that I made, and I spent a whole day going through that, and the books just took a long time. Even though, I will say this though, if the books would have taken even longer, I would still be going through them. I still have a lot to go through if the books were pre-ISBN books. So if they had been books from the 60s and older, or even early 70s and older, because I saw ISBN on a 1971 book. So for the most part, it's like 1970 and back. Definitely 60s and older without ISBNs. So pre-ISBN number books, which means that you have to look them up. You can't, I mean, unless they have a really distinctive dust cover, you have to just look them up by either typing in the name and author and the year, or saying it into into eBay, which just takes a lot longer. So for that, I'm thankful there weren't that many books, even though a lot of the older books can be worth money. Most of the books that I went through had either ISBNs or barcodes, so that was good. And there was some cool stuff, but also I would say that there was so much, it got me thinking, because there were so many books in there. Aside from religious books, there were so many, and there were random stuff too. There were some sports books, there was a lot of just general self-help books, but there was also a lot of how to make more money books, how to make more money in real estate, in the stock market, with your business, being a leader, all that kind of stuff, which is fine. But it just got, like, the amount that were in there was staggering. So it just got me thinking about, running a business, trying to make more money. Whether you have a job right now and you're looking to get into reselling as just a little bit of extra money, or to replace half your income or all of your income, or whatever it may be, or you're just interested in see how it works. Seeing all those books, it's amazing to me how big that industry is and how many people are unsatisfied, at least in this country, or at least where I live, I should say. I mean, but these books sell all over the country, but nonetheless. And it got me thinking that, it's great to start a business like reselling because it's very low barrier to entry. You don't need any licenses. You don't need any, you can get a reselling, what do you call it? Is it a license, I suppose? I can't remember, I'm blanking, but certificate, and that's fine. But for the most part, it's just about having some money to buy inventory, and then learning about how to navigate and list on Amazon and or eBay or wherever else you might be looking to list, and then figuring out how to sell those items as quickly as possible for as much profit as possible. That's really the bottom line, right? And then you can get into all other kinds of stuff. But seeing all those books just reminded me of something that, that I went through that a long time ago. I mean, before I found reselling books, which is the first thing that I stumbled upon on YouTube from a guy that I don't believe is selling books anymore. He then got into clothes, and I don't even think he's added to his channel in a long, long time. I don't remember his name at this point. But anyway, I started doing that, just books on Amazon, and that turned into all kinds of other stuff. But it's great to figure out ways to make extra money, or to look for a new career, or to get into being self-employed or having a business with employees or whatever it may be, however far you want to take this reselling thing, because everyone does it different. Some people just want to have a couple of bookcases in their house, in their garage, in a storage unit, whatever it is, and just sell 100 items a month or whatever it may be, right? They don't want to get all big with it, which is fine, which is a great thing about reselling. But it's a good thing. And whatever it is, in this case, it's reselling. In this case, it's reselling media, but of course you can resell all kinds of stuff. Anything you can imagine you can resell. You can resell postcards, you can resell stamps, you can resell jewelry, you can resell, vintage trains, whatever, right? There's always a niche. But the bottom line is sticking to something and really giving it a go, and not getting too overwhelmed by all the different opportunities out there. So as an example, I started with Amazon FBA, Fulfilled by Amazon, and then I got into Merchant Fulfilled, and then I started doing other things besides books, selling other things besides books on Amazon, records, VHS tapes, video games, CDs, a ton of CDs. I sold thousands of CDs on Amazon. I still sell, hundreds of them. Well, at this point, probably not hundreds a year, but dozens, a couple hundred, I don't know. But I do hundreds, definitely individual ones on eBay. But anyway, so my point is that, and then it evolved into eBay, and then it evolved into this store, and just stay focused on something, right? Whatever it is, get good at that thing, maximize it, and then make a decision whether you want to just keep doing that one thing. Like, I'm just going to sell books on eBay, collectible books. I'm only going to sell records on Amazon, X, Y, and whatever it is. I'm only going to do video games, and stay in that niche, or decide to branch out, whatever it may be. But don't get overwhelmed by all the information. Focus on what you're doing. I definitely struggle with that in the beginning. I tend to get sort of like excited about one thing, and then after I do it for a while, I hear something else, even though it's related, right? Like, even though CDs and records and VHS tapes, it's all media, and bouncing from Amazon to eBay, and now to owning my own store, 2 stores. I definitely am at fault for that. Or, I've definitely gone through that, but I realize, I'm focusing in on eBay and on my stores. Those are my focus. Amazon I get sales on Amazon. I continue to list here and there on Amazon when I find the right type of item, but I've done better on eBay, the last, many years now, 5 years, whatever it is. And, I continue to learn it. I continue to get better, but my store, I'm figuring out, it's grown, even though this week is slower because of the rain. The rain really did not help anybody. Well, it helps, us to have more water here and that kind of thing. But anyway, it just stay focused is my point, right? Stay focused on something, learn it, get really good at it. And then decide if you're just going to keep doing that thing at a high level because you're really good at it, or if you're going to branch out. Like, spend a year learning how to sell, a certain type of media on eBay. Get really good at it so that you list something, it sells. You learn what sells, what doesn't sell. It takes a while. You can't just learn it in a month or two, or even maybe 6 months. Unless you're listing a ton, and you're paying attention to what's selling and what's not selling, and why is it not selling, and that kind of thing. I should have used this keyword, or I should have taken better photos, or I should have priced it here instead of there. I should have, charged X, Y, and Z for shipping versus what I did. So just think about that kind of stuff. And, don't get distracted by all kinds of other shiny objects. If you want to make some money reselling, well, find something that you know about and enjoy, and resell that thing and see how that goes. If you're into, something that's not media, but let's say if you absolutely love books, you've read them all your whole life. I mean, you're always reading a lot. Makes sense to start selling books. If you a big music collector and you own tons of CDs, makes sense to sell CDs. If you have a massive video game collection, you already know the market. So start selling that stuff. If you have stuff of your own that you don't want or don't need, just start selling that, and then go to a thrift store and see what you find. Because if you already know a lot about video games and you walk into a thrift store, you're going to know that, first of all, there's not going to be that much in there, probably, depending on the thrift store. But, you're going to know, oh, look I know that one's valuable. I know that one's rare. Oh, well, all these are just, they made 1 million copies of those, so those aren't worth anything. That kind of thing. And just kind of grow it from there, little by little. Be patient. I mean, I can't believe this. Like, when I first moved in here, I had like a few bookcases. I had, some tables, and they grew slowly, to now every week I'm getting new people. It's crazy to me that in the beginning I was like, how are people going to find me? And now people just type into their phone books, music, movies, whatever, and I pop up as an option. And they come by, or they drive by and see my signs, of course, the old school way. But you never know. You just never know if you put in the effort. And I'm by no means like, where I want to be with my store. I want to have triple the amount of traffic that I'm having in here, customers. And I know if I keep working at it, I'll get there. Wow, it's a nice sunset. So let's end with that. So keep that in mind. Let me know what you think. Hope you're having good sales. Whatever you're selling, where you're selling, whatever you're selling. And I'll see you in the next video. Take care.